Hello and welcome to Finest Hour. I'm Philip Selway, back here sitting in for the gallivanting guy Garvey. It's great to be back in the hot seat once more, and I hope you can stay with me for the next couple of hours of lovingly hand-chosen music. I've got music from Agnes Obel, My Bloody Valentine, Savages, MC Coco, Vic Chestnut, and many more. We'll also be hearing from Beccapedia. So we open the show with a wake-up call from X-Ray Specs and Oh Bondage Up Yours. Happy Sunday. I remember I used to close my bedroom door and turn that one down when I played it at home. The heady days of teenage rebellion. Next up is a reissued track from Soul Jazz Records featuring Leo Nocentelli and George Porter Jr. from The Meters, and the incredible James Black on drums, and the sublime singing of Betty Harris. This is Betty Harris, and There's a Break in the Road. That was Betty Harris, and There's a Break in the Road. Next up, it's a song from Agnes Obel. She's been working on a new album now for, it seems like forever. It's one that I've been waiting for a long time, and it's finally going to make its appearance on 21st of October. The album's going to be called Citizen of Glass, and this is the first single ahead of it. It's called Familiar. This is Agnes Obel. That was Opportunity from Brooklyn-based MC River Nelson. That was from his album Shape of the Sky from 2013. Next up, we have a song from My Bloody Valentine. This was from their 1991 album, Loveless, their last album before their rather sizable hiatus. It's kind of a hiatus that makes Radiohead look positively prolific. Their next record took 22 years to be released. That was MBV in 2013. But this track is off, as I said, Loveless, and it's Only Shallow. That was We Both Know by Andrew Butler. That's from his album Chalk, which was released last month. Andrew's been compared to people like Roy Orbison, Jeff Buckley, and Leonard Cohen. Big shoes to fill, but I think he does it quite brilliantly, actually. Well, back in the early 80s, my eldest sister was up at Leeds University, and she formed a band called the Dactaris. As I know, they never did a gig, or I don't think they ever rehearsed, but at the time I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and it planted a seed with me. That led to other things, of course. So I was surprised a couple of decades ago to come across a band, an Afrobeat revival band called the Dactaris. I thought my sister had possibly given up her life of rural idyll in the Oxfordshire countryside and moved to Brooklyn. I'm still speculating on that one. It's a good fantasy to have. Anyway, but this is a song from the Dactaris. It's a song called El Sig Ibal La City, and if that sounds like a good bit of nonsense, it is, because the title is actually a backwards version of It Is All a Big Hustle, which is a reference to their faked Nigerian origin of the album Soul Explosion. So here it is. I won't do the title again, but this is the Dactaris.
See you later.
That was Decepticon by Le Tigre. They were the electro-clash band from the States, formed by Kathleen Hanna, formerly of Bikini Kill. Now, band names, they are always a bit of a thorny issue. We were lumbered with, in Radiohead, a name on a Friday for about 5 years of our existence. Fortunately, we knocked that one on the head, but it's always that big burning issue when you start a band. And this next track is from Everything But the Girl. And if you're wondering where that name comes from, well, evidently it's from a store originally built in Hull, a shop called Turner's Furniture. And they had a placard outside which read, "For your bedroom needs, we sell everything but the girl." So that led to the band name. Here it is, Everything But the Girl with Another Bridge. That was Another Bridge from Everything But the Girl from their 1984 album Eden, much played by me and worn out, no doubt, by now. So next we have a song from Oumou Sangaré from Mali. Now, there aren't many artists that you can talk about and say that they actually launched their own car. Oumou has done that very thing. It's called the Sang, evidently, manufactured by a Chinese firm and marketed in conjunction with her own company. There we go. I'm sure Wikipedia has got a good sense of humour, and I'm sure I've just been had, but I'm going with it. It's a good tale. So this is a song from her 2009 album, Seya. This is Oumou Sangaré and Iyo Jele. That was Iyo Jele by Oumou Sangaré. A couple of weeks ago, Radiohead did their very own version of Escape to the Sun and went to play at Primavera Festival in Barcelona. It was lovely. Whilst we were there, we got to play straight after Savages. So this next track is from Savages. This is called Evil. Thank you, Beccapedia. Next, I have a song from DBO Sound System. This is a British-based band fronted by Eno Williams, and her songs are based around folk stories from southeast Nigeria. This one is called Let's Dance, and evidently it was a dance floor smash a couple of years ago. So here's a dance for a Sunday. That was Dying Heart by D-Day One, who's a producer, DJ and songwriter from Los Angeles. And before that, it was a song from the Pogues, A Pair of Brown Eyes, from 1985 when I was doing my A-levels, well, at least doing them for the first time. Anyway, a song which was Shane MacGowan based on the lyric on the melody of Wild Mountain Time, a song that's also known, it's rather beautifully, as Will Ye Go Lassie Go. It's a lovely song. So next is a track for an English summer's day. It's from Anne Peebles. It's a song which she wrote with her husband, Don Bryant, and also the radio broadcaster Bernie Miller. You'll know this one. It's called I Can't Stand the Rain. That was Anne Peebles and I Can't Stand the Rain. Next is a track from Bob Mould's first incarnation, Husker Du. This was a song from Candy Apple Grey, and it is Don't Want to Know If You Are Lonely. That was My G by Coco. It's a track that I came across on One Extra the other night, actually. Hey, I'm with the kids. But it really jumped out the radio at me and led me to go and have a look for his performance on the BBC introducing stage at Glastonbury. So if you've not seen that one, go and see it because it's great. That leads me to this next track from DJ Shadow. It's his current album called The Mountain Will Fall, and it's a song called The Sideshow, and it features Ernie Fresh.
What's up?
That was DJ Shadow and The Sideshow. Now, I like bands with brothers in. I have a vested interest in one. And this next track is from a band with the brothers Stephen and David Batt, otherwise known as Steve Jansen and David Sylvian. This is Japan and Quiet Life. That was Japan and Quiet Life. Now, Nix is an interesting word. You can either see it as a recently discovered moon of Pluto. You can see it as meaning nothing, bugger all, zip, nada. Or you could see it as the title of this next track. This is from Dawn of Midi, who are incidentally going to be opening for Radiohead over in the States very shortly. And the track is called Nix. That was Nix from Brooklyn's Dawn of Midi, and that was from their second album, Dysnomia. So still to come, we've got music from Goat, Queen and David Bowie, Vic Chestnut, Lou Rhodes, Tom Waits, but they're all just names. Best to hang around and actually hear the music itself. That song gets me every time. That's Queen and David Bowie and Under Pressure. And before then, it was a song from Goat, that enigmatic Swedish band, who are playing at this year's End of a Road Festival, actually, so that'll be a good one to see. That was a song called I Sing in Silence. So next, we have a track from another act that's opening for Radiohead. Did I mention I was in that band? I think I possibly have. Rather too much in this show, but there you go. Anyway, when we're playing in the States, we have Shabba's Palaces opening for us, and this a track from them called Church. That was Vic Chestnut with Flirted With You All My Life. Vic Chestnut from Athens in Georgia in the States, and left us too soon in 2009 at the age of 45. Kristen Hirsch of Throwing Muses wrote a book in 2015 called Don't Suck, Don't Die, Giving Up Vic Chestnut, which was her thinking about her friendship with Vic Chestnut, and she cited him as one of her songwriting influences and referred to his fluid timing and the grace of a melody that breaks the rules of meter. Be nice to have something like that said about you. That's great. So we have this next track is from Aretha Franklin's sister, Irma Franklin. It's a track called You've Been Cancelled. That was All I Need from Finest Hour's very own Lou Rhodes. Well, that's almost it for this show. Thank you to Michelle Chowdhury and Chris Lee for keeping me on the straight and narrow here in the studio, and thank you to you for listening. Next up, it's Layla Moss sitting in for Jarvis Cocker on Sunday service, and we'll end with Tom Waits and Old 55. Take care. See you.
1